Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, I am addressing the students of IGCSE English First Language 0500 and they are going to have their P2 writing paper. I have decided to share a worthy document to the benefit of the majority of the students. Similar document I shared with regard to 1123 students. This is called example candidate responses and they found it really beneficial to get the idea about the demand of the examiner and how they would assess your writing. And the Cambridge examiners have requested the teachers to share this document with the students so that they can follow the tips and techniques regarding this paper. The benefit of this video will be that instead of reading 31 pages, I have highlighted all the crucial points which are worthy of reading, and in maximum 10 to 15 minutes you will be able to revise these points. You see that they have given high, middle and low responses with regard to all the questions so that you can have better analysis of how to attempt them. So moving on with our my dear student, this is the first example response with regard to a high demand. And as you can see, the first thing that you have to note down is the handwriting, the paragraphing style. The handwriting, I would say, is not really up to the mark because the student has written rather too cursive in a cursive style. But the important thing is that paragraphing rules have been beautifully followed. What are the rules of paragraphing? Starting next to the margin line, leaving a line after each paragraph. And what does the examiner say about the first paragraph? The quality of the writing which he has noticed is that varied and precisely used vocabulary has been used along with varied sentence structure. What is varied sentence structure? That sometimes you can start a rhetorical question at the beginning of a magazine article. This question was a magazine article. The candidate focuses on the specific audience and on one of the most important ideas in the text. So you see the focus on formula of FAPVTR is very important for all directed writing types for both GCSE as well as IGCSE students. The examiner has written this note. You can read it along with me, that discuss and analyze the answers with your learners in the classroom to improve their skills. So that is why I am sharing this, although it could not be shared in the classroom because this document was shared a bit late. So that is why I got the chance to communicate it through this medium of communication. What were the common mistakes students made in this question? Number one, the most common mistake was the lifting of points from both texts. My dear student, please note these down very carefully because this is not my message. This is the Cambridge examiner's message after checking the papers. So avoid lifting from the text. Number two, providing only a general discussion rather than an evaluation of the idea. So don't just talk generally about the content points, rather evaluate them. What is evaluation? I have made a detailed video which was really beneficial about evaluation and what is the difference between evaluation and opinion. Evaluation, in brief, I can tell you that it is critical analysis of ideas, not just agreeing with things, rather disagreeing, but in a persuasive and polite manner. This is evaluation, but you should watch the video. Another common error was candidates taking the ideas in the text at face value. That if you are just looking at the explicit value of things without diving deep into the analysis of ideas, into the evaluation of ideas, that too would be a common mistake. That would be a serious mistake. Where candidates saw each text as being separate and not linked in any way. You see, several students are still asking these questions from me even during these preparation days, that how are we supposed to express our ideas from the two texts? Should we summarize them according to the order of the text, or should we make separate paragraph for pros and cons or advantages and disadvantages? My dear students, you should read the samples provided by the Cambridge examiners. I will be sharing a few with you But the important thing is that you have to link your ideas. You have to reshape the material of the text in such a way that you just feel the taste of eggs and sugar, but you do not see eggs and sugar in the cake. This is the example which the Cambridge examiners have given. So you can change the order of content points, you can reshape them, you can mix and match, you can merge, you can link, whatever you want to do there. But the point is, main instruction is that the rubric should be followed, and the two bullet points which are the requirement of this question, they should be answered without any confusion. Now, this was the question, my dear students, which were asked for this paper, upon which the examiner will share three sample answers: high, middle, and low. So you can read this question, you can attempt it yourself. And here you see there are two bullet points. This is a type of format required for magazine article about how far they should keep up with the latest technology. This is a very popular topic, one of the most common themes which is prevalent for directed writing questions. So you should practice, must practice it. And the first point is evaluate the views and attitudes people have towards new technology. And the second is give your own views. Sometimes the students start giving their own views side by side, but it is better that you make separate paragraph, because here it is the complete second bullet point. And evaluation of ideas, it is not necessary that if there are five content points you evaluate all five. You can pick three content points for evaluation so that you can evaluate them deeply instead of just talking about them in general sense. So, my dear student, you see, this is a catchy heading given by the student: latest technology, is it worth it? And then the question mark. This is the requirement of magazine article, that catchy heading should be given at the start, then a line should be left, then the first paragraph right next to the margin line, and after the completion of the first paragraph, line should be spared. And what is the examiner's note upon it? Varied and precisely used vocabulary and sentence structure. This is the demand. That vocabulary should be varied. You do not repeat the same word. You do not copy chunks from the text. And your sentence structure is varied in the sense that it does not start with similar words every time. The candidate focuses on the specific audience and on one of the most important ideas in the text. This we have already read. The answer picks up on the cynicism applied in both texts. Now you see, the examiner, the writer would have talked about some cynical ideas in the two texts. So this answer has discussed them. It means that implicit meaning was also found out by this student. Now, this student has used you, which I don't agree they should be used in magazine article. In magazine article, you should be using we instead of you or I, because you are talking about the collective benefits and collective feedback about different things. The candidate rewords and develops some ideas in text B. The answer is less evaluative, although the points are well made and cogently expressed. Cogently means logically expressed. I have written it for you so that when you read it, you can find it more effective. The answer fades a little in terms of effectiveness of style and evaluation, but focuses on the specific audience and task. And you would be surprised to know that the examiner has awarded 34 out of 40 marks in this attempt. The starting connectors have been used, just as when the student wanted to write about the conclusion, he wrote in conclusion. You can look at the other starters now to address the question. Colon has been used. Should you buy it or not? Then there are normal people who buy a product to fulfill their own needs. Connectors have been used, but you can even write better than this. And sometimes the assessment of these sample answers is a little bit generous. But sometimes in the later attempts, you will find that the examiner has checked them very strictly. So how to can the candidate could have improved this answer? The response missed some opportunities to examine the implicit point. Implicit point means, just as you interpret things at the deeper level without just looking at the surface level. This would be the implicit analysis of things. Okay, the response was well argued and effectively organized with a clear sense of purpose and order. If you remember whom you are addressing, if you know the purpose of your writing, if you know the demand of the text type, the basic formula of FAP, it means that your answer is wonderful. The ending needed a stronger finish in terms of style and evaluation. So the examiner has suggested that the ending should be improved. The same question, now the middle attempt, I'm just scrolling it quickly because I would be focusing more on the examiner's comments. There are frequent errors in this attempt. The handwriting is a little bit childish, but it is legible. This is a straightforward reproduction of points in text B. It means that the ideas have just been reproduced, they have not been evaluated. You see, so much cutting has been done by this student. This is one of the evaluation points shown in the marking scheme and shows some judgment in the implicit ideas in the text. Wherever you will implicitly express your idea, the examiner will appreciate it. There are a few lifted phrases and some errors. Even when I check the student's attempt, I can very well recognize the lifting done by the student, and all the teachers can do. So in this attempt, the student has got around 50 to 52% marks because 22 out of 40 have been rewarded. And what was this is very important, what the examiner has suggested that how the student could have improved his answer. A more consistent analysis of the attitudes in the text was needed rather than mostly reproducing ideas with some summarizing at the end. So, if you will just summarize the ideas, if you will not evaluate them, if you will not deeply understand them, if you will not criticize them, if you will not argue logically, it means basically we are lost in fabricated things about the pattern and this and that. The actual thing which the examiner demands is the evaluation of ideas. The meaning was clear, although the style was fairly simple and inconsistent. There were spelling errors also, which the examiner has noticed, and personal style with more sense of audience would have allowed for a higher mark to be awarded. So, if you want to obtain better marks, sense of audience should be dominant. This is the third attempt on the same question. It is imprecise usage of language, meaning the language usage is not good. The student has written some funny sentences. It is better to avoid reading them. We will be quickly scrolling down towards the examiner's comments. And how many marks? Just 17 out of 40, not even 50% marks. And this is important, that how the student could have improved their answer. The response was relevant, but it was not an evaluation of the ideas in the text. So you see, evaluation is the most important thing. Please watch the video on evaluation also once again. There were some consistent basic errors, such as the misuse of capital letters. Sentences were not correctly demarcated, meaning that from where you should start the answer, or from where you should start the sentence, where you should place full stop, where a new sentence is to be started. This is demarcation of sentences. Where phrases were lifted from the text, marks could not be awarded. More secure use of punctuation was needed, as well as more articulate style, which was not dependent on the original text. So, summing up, the most important thing is the formula of FAP. The second important thing is evaluation of ideas. Thirdly, grammatical errors should be avoided because SPG is required to be accurate in this part of the question. The most common mistake was the lifting, a general discussion rather than an evaluation. Candidates saw each text as being separate. The same comments have been written previously also. So this is a repetition and there is no need to be worried. The next important advice is avoid the use of incorrect homophones. For example, TOO, TWO. The student normally confuse these three words. So avoid these mistakes and avoid incomplete sentence structure where a sentence just starts and ends without serious pauses. Now, you see, this second part of this examiner report has started about descriptive essay. The topic was the description of a place you would like to go back to. So, evoking emotion. This is quite a polished opening. Effective and quite evocative. Evocative means which evokes and triggers your emotions. The last sentence is incomplete but is written fluently and with an appropriate style. And what is the last sentence? The salty sea breeze spraying onto the light brown boardwalk. So you see, the sentence is not complete. Now, in this paragraph, this student has used some beautiful combination of vocabulary. As you can see, I have underlined and I have given stars as well. I felt refreshed and exhilarated. So you see, when he was describing his feelings, beautiful adjectives have been used. This is the demand of descriptive essay. My heart pounded so hard at my chest. The adrenaline rush sent an electrical impulse swirling down my spine and giving me the shivers. You see how beautifully the feelings are being described. I was breathing in a haphazard manner, and the mesmerizing beauty and completely took over my soul. This is the demand of descriptive essay. If you can write such level of vocabulary in the descriptive essay, then you should go it. Otherwise, you should go for the narrative essay. Now, coming to the next paragraph, you can see that the student has tried to use effective vocabulary. Simile is also visible. Semicolon has been used. Dash has been used. Vocabulary and punctuation both are quite up to the mark. The light brown sand combinations in the form of adjectives, which I am repeatedly sharing the tips with you that how you can add combinations in your vocabulary. Shiny yellow, orange, and purple colored sand. You see, the colors have been described so beautifully. This is how you should describe adjectives. Most of this section builds a picture of a beach landscape quite effectively. There are errors with tense which should must be avoided. You see, the magnificent scenic beauty filled with multicolored colors, with multi-hued colors, left me stunned. So you see, multi-hued color. This is again, hued also means multicolored. So this is a beautiful phrase, a different focus for a new paragraph. This is the demand of the descriptive essay that in each paragraph, the focus should be different so that there is variety. Camouflage, all the challenging words have been spelled correctly. Idiosyncrasy of this place was a smoke. You see, the challenging words have been spelled correctly by the student. This section seems out of place and incongruous. Why? You see, this is an important point because this student has taken this opening sentence from Dickens' novel. And you see, the examiners are very expert in recognizing these because obviously they have read all these novels. It strikes an odd tone which is not evident earlier. So, whenever the student tried to avoid creativity and he did copying or lifting, so he created a bad impression. So, what's the message for you? That don't reproduce learned things forcefully into your composition. The sentence structure is less secure here. Olfactory images have also been used over here when he talks about the smell of things. The seafood smelled so strong that it seeped into one's nose. So you see, different kind of images, not only visual, but smell images and auditory images, they have also been used. But surprisingly, the student just got 24 out of 40 marks. Now we will see that what is the examiner comment, that how the student could have improved. What does he suggest? For content and structure, there was some ambition and a clear attempt to create a consistent, convincing picture. However, there were some sections where there was a shift in tone. You see that suddenly the tone changed. Suddenly the writing seemed disjointed, seemed to be copying of some material. The different parts of the scene were organized and paragraphed, although they were not always linked effectively. And some choices of images and ideas were made consciously for effect, while some were effective, others were less so. Therefore, the description was sometimes generic, lacking focus on closer details. there was some inconsistency in sentence structure. So you see, the most important thing in descriptive essay is not just vocabulary, but your sentence structure, your linking of ideas, your focus of the question, all should be organized and well controlled. So you see, this is the second middle attempt on the same question. You can read it. I did not find something interesting for you. 20 in this attempt, the examiner has given 34 out of 40 marks. And what's the name of this attempt? Yes, this is the high attempt for descriptive essay. You should read it, must read it. Now, what's the beauty of this? For style and accuracy, the writing was almost error free, was efficient, controlled, and precise. For a mark higher up, a more nuanced and complex, a subtle style was needed, meaning hidden way, with a more precise use of language to evoke the occasion and engage the reader. This is low attempt. It starts with once upon a time, which is very, very bad, and basic errors of capitalization, missing tenses, insecure tenses, inconsistent tenses. This is all that you should avoid. Errors are there in spelling and tenses. You should avoid them. Repetitive usage of pronoun at the start of sentences. So you see, if you would write this, so the results will not be up to the mark. And only 17 out of 40 marks have been awarded. Errors in tenses, grammar, and a limited range of vocabulary. This was the comment upon this attempt. Now, this is narrative. Now, for narrative, you see the handwriting of the student. This is an engaging opening, carefully controlled to interest the reader. Let's read it together a few lines. A loud crash shook me from my daydreams, my fingers toying with the duct tape, but not actually taping anything particular, comma, unless you count winding my left hand into a sticky mess. I went to investigate where the sound had come from, only to find the boxes that I had painstakingly stacked in the garage had toppled over. So you see how engaging the opening is, the vocabulary. Even for narrative essay, you must be using the right word at the right place. You see, the examiner has appreciated that the vocabulary is relevant, varied choice of language is there, and the reader is engaged to read on. Paragraphing rules, all the topper students have followed, so you please also follow them. This is quite a broad canvas for a narrative, but the characterization and setting are assured and controlled. What is broad canvas? That you start talking about lengthy period of time. You should be focusing on maximum 1 day. That would be the ideal canvas for a short story. Sentence demarcation with commas where full stops are needed, as well as fairly frequent spelling errors. So you see, this was the mistake in the third paragraph, in the third point, that commas were placed where full stop was required and spelling errors were also there, just as received has been misspelled. Paragraphing rules have been successfully followed. And this is a cohesive ending, meaning that you are tying different knots which you opened at the beginning of the story. You should tie them, and the examiner has given 35 out of 40 for this attempt. You must read it, especially the top attempts you must read, and the suggestions which the examiner has given. The opening and ending of the narrative were effective and controlled. This is the important thing for a narrative, that the start is engaging and the ending is tying. It is cohesive. It is linking with the start. The characterization and setting were well described. The scale and backdrop of the story was a little over ambitious and difficult to manage. If you spread the canvas of the story too broadly, that becomes difficult to handle. More focus on the story of the individuals rather than the context might have engaged the reader more consistently. If you talk about specific individuals with their specific problems, that becomes more focused. This is the second attempt. The topic is the promise. Frequent spelling errors are there. This is the middle attempt. Inconsistent tenses are there. Paragraphing rules the students have beautifully followed. Homophones are misspelled. Usage of grammar is inaccurate. And this is the additional sheet which the student has used. the plot line becomes unclear. So you better focus on the content, on the plot, and on following the word limit. 20 out of 40 only for this attempt. Tense use within and between paragraph needed more consistency and precision. This is the low attempt on narrative writing. I would be scrolling down to the ending part. This is very important. Common mistakes students made in this question. In descriptive writing, some candidates were overly reliant on narrative. While attempting descriptive essay, the students start narrating unconsciously and without realization to structure their responses, which resulted in pieces which had limited descriptive content. There were sometimes predictable pieces. Sometimes the descriptions were predictable, seemed to be copied from somewhere. Generic details rather than closely observed and focused content. So, what you require is focused content. The tendency to rely on rather stereotypical ideas and images was one of the most common mistakes in approaching descriptive writing. So, you see, descriptive writing, you should carefully choose whether you are well prepared for it or not. Only then you should attempt it. In narrative writing, one common mistake was a lack of preparation, especially in establishing characterization and setting for a narrative in which a sequence of events became the main content, meaning the less focus was on characterization and setting and more focus was on the sequence of events. The need to engage the reader with credible characters and plot line was sometimes neglected, resulting in some action driven narratives which were less effective overall. So the focus should be on more on characterization and on plot line along with setting. All the features of narrative writing should be joined in this story. Style and accuracy marks were often more limited. Ambitious style in terms of vocabulary and sentence structures was required. And this is how, my dear students, I have read around 31 pages with you with this highlighted version. I think I will take it. It took 10 to 15 minutes, and this important document has been shared with you. Please go through it yourself once again, and you can download it even from online resources. Otherwise, you can ask from me. I can share its soft copy with you. Please remember me in prayers and best of luck for your paper 2 as well. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.